The only people that we, CNN, will let on the air for the most part are people that have a proven track record of taking the bait. That's not true. Joy Behar put me on. Speaking of assholes, what media company leads the league in assholes? They have about an 890 winning percentage as far as hiring assholes. CNN, we showed you some clips. Our boy James O'Keefe at Project Veritas, again, doing God's work. This guy's the best. Is he not the best journalist, undercover, whatever you call him? He's doing God's work. And all he uses is a couple things, alcohol and a hot chick and a wire. We showed you clips yesterday of the CNN guy bragging how they got basically got Biden elected, and he was bragging. Well, here's some more. They released some more last night. CNN technical director Charlie Chester was asked by a Project Veritas journalist, does CNN use propaganda? I would call that a rhetorical question. And Charlie Chester says, I don't know. Yeah. The journalist asked him to clarify, at which point he brings up embattled Rep. Matt Gaetz, who's been facing an emerging sex scandal, which looks like it was made up out of whole cloth. But listen to this jerk bragging about that.
Oh, no.
Okay, can you define propaganda? Like, I think I know, but, like, how is it, what's the mechanism?
If the agenda, say, is to, like, get, like, Matt Gaetz right now, he's, like, this Republican, like, he's a problem for the Democratic Party because he's so conservative, right? And he can cause a lot of hiccups in passing of laws.
Yeah.
So it would be great for the Democratic Party to get him out. So we're going to keep running those stories to keep hurting him and make it so that it can't be buried and like just settled outside of court and just if we keep pushing that, it's helping us. That's propaganda. It's helping us in some way.
Oh, fucking idiot!
Oh, that dirty cocksucker. Right out of the mouth of the babe himself. He said, yeah, that's propaganda because it's helping us. We're going to keep continuing to try to hurt Matt Gaetz. Paraphrasing. So you people who argue politics with your friends and say, you watch Fox News and all that other shit and people who regularly watch CNN still, you're the fucking problem. It's out there. We have evidence, but nobody's going to see this hardly. Unfortunately, if NBC, CBS, ABC had an ounce of credibility, it should be running on a fucking loop. But I'm sure the owners are all tied in and whatever the fuck. Right? So anytime your friends go make fun of you watching Fox or whatever, just bring that up. Tell them to Google it right in front of you, since everybody has a phone. And then see what they have to say. They'll still come up with something. Both sides do it. Well, then show me the clip of somebody from Fox doing that. There is no clip. Suck a bag of dicks, cheese eater. Part 2 of Veritas, another part was released of them busting. Said any reporter on CNN, what they're actually doing is, this is what the reporter saying is, this is Charlie Chester talking. They're actually doing is they're telling the person what to say. It's always like leading them in a direction before they even open their mouths. It's called leading the witness. The only people that we, CNN, will let on the air for the most part are people that have a proven track record of taking the bait. That's not true. Joy Behar put me on. I'll take the bait every time. I made her look like an asshole on her own show and never invited back.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!
So that's Charlie Chester explaining how they do it. He says, I think there's an art to manipulation, inflection, saying things twice. There's little subtleties to how to manipulate people. I mean, it's enough to change the world, you know? Oh, my God. Hey, is he still working there? I haven't heard anything about him getting canned. He says, like, why it isn't high enough, today? Like, it would make our point better if it was higher. He's talking about the COVID number, right? I don't know why this article's fucking written horribly. Chester also described how CNN has used the COVID-19 pandemic to keep viewers hooked on the screen. Oh my God, he's spilling all the secrets.
Fucking bitch.
Take a look at this. She asked him about, COVID and if that helps their ratings and shit. This guy gets a few drinks in him and he's really spilling it. Check out this video.
But why don't you guys at CNN show the recovery rates on the death tolls at least?
The recovery rates.
Look at him scheming.
Who's had it and then recovered. Because that's not scary. I would imagine
Pause.
That's why they don't do it.
You see how it's all about fear. He's like, she asked that question and he's trying to connect it to fear. Well, it's not scary. Recovery rates. It's death rates we want. Go ahead.
Yeah.
That's what I figured.
If it bleeds, it leads. Yeah.
If it bleeds, it leads.
And he goes,
I like that.
speaking of bleeds,
I think.
how you doing?
No one ever says those things out loud, but it's obvious based on like the amount of stories that we do. Like the fact that we have a segment called The Good Stuff, which is a feel-good thing, but it's a dedicated moment at the end to like almost like be the ice cream to alleviate, like everything that you've been through, like like something sweet to end it with. Because everything else is like doom and gloom. I mean, it's human nature. I mean, like I find myself watching more news when there's something looming and scary.
So there you go. A guy that works a direct to CNN, just laying out how phony. And do you see how he does it with no conscience? Like everybody does it. He compares Fox to that. We're no different than Fox. Oh, you're a lot different than Fox. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, listen up, okay? Hey, guys, we are looking for an assistant producer here on the Nick DiPaolo Show to help Jason out with a lot of stuff. We are looking for someone who lives in the Savannah, Georgia area, who has experience with video production and who wants to work in an environment where free speech rules and the boss is a handsome son of a bitch. If you're interested, please email Tommy at info@standupglobal.com. That's Tommy. That's who the guy you're writing to. And here's the link. info@standupglobal.com.